perceiving, sensing. Reality is kind of a temporary journey, little experience. Actually, it doesn't even have to have purpose. I know humans really like to have purpose, then they feel justified in getting stuck. You don't need purpose in this reality or in any other reality. I mentioned recently that I'm sad to see that humans now don't go out beyond in their dream state. It used to be that they would go out there and get into the crystalline realms, the creative realms, the no realms. And I watch it now and they don't. They stay close to home when they go to sleep at night. They stay in humanness, even if they're not physically present, but they're present in every other way. They stay immersed in their problems and they stay immersed in mass consciousness. They don't go out anymore. Kind of like, kids these days, I hear you saying all the time, kids these days, they stay inside and play video games. Well, humans, they stay within the boundaries of mass consciousness and don't venture off. One of the things that I'd like you to do right now is to feel into going into these other realms in your dream state, passing beyond the confines of mass consciousness, limitation, humanness, really giving yourself that deep permission now, starting tonight, starting now, to go beyond those realms. In a way, they're comforting. Those realms are, you're familiar with them. But it's time to go out and beyond. It's time to be creators once again. Go into nothingness. Your body is sleeping, your mind is somewhat quieted, and now the I am here. The I am present. Can go out into nothingness. Where is nothingness? Well, it's nowhere. But you go out into where there is nothing, let alone maybe some plasma, some energy, but just it's even in a state of nothing within nothingness, just waiting for you. And then your presence starts a birthing. It's not confined to time nor space. Your presence starts a movement of energy, even without having to define what you want it to become. It actually just happens when you're present in nothingness, meaning freedom. Energies start moving. The human would have had to start defining, shaping, building, perceiving the energies, but when you're out here in nothingness and you're birthing creativity, you don't have to define, you don't have to determine the size and the shape and the colors. You don't have to do any of that. You're just there, your presence. This is pure creation. This is effortless creation. And this is how reality comes to be. The nature of reality starts here. in nothing. And it's birthed of you. It's birthed of you. Now, I'd like you to observe for a moment, and not thinking. I'd like you to observe, perceive in a way you may not be used to, but perceive now as a new reality is birthed of you. I use the word of very deliberately. Be the observer now to see, to perceive what happens. See how easy reality is? So now let's bring together all three parts of our day into one final Merab. We talked first about letting go of being the mediator, having to be that negotiator between the human and the soul and aspects and outside forces, other people, to free you to simply be you. No more mediating between those different parties. No more expending your energy on it. Free yourself. Be clear of all of that. And then to understand that there is this directive of fulfillment. In other words, because of all that you've done, all your work, you could say, all of your determination, the flow into fulfillment, into enlightenment, it's already there. So hop on board, float down that river with ease, knowing that you're going to get there. And finally, now, into reality. What is reality? It's simply perception of movements of energy and plasma. So, therefore, you can be in any reality you want. Don't try to change this reality for other people. You can change your perception of this reality for yourself. Don't try to change it for other people. But now allow yourself any reality you choose. Allow yourself to go into nothing and birth a reality. You're creators. That's perhaps one of the truest, only true statement about you is you're a creator. Now let's get back to that. Let's bring all of this together in our closing Merab. Joe, how do they do it? How do Anat and Gerhard bring it together? In the moment, intuitively, with music. In the moment. In a moment, she says. No, in the moment. Now let's take a good deep breath in our closing moments of the Walk On series. What a year it's been. And it's called the Walk On series because it's walking on from limitation, walking on from trying so hard to make yourself fit into the world. The world's still there, but you can walk on. You don't have to try to make it work, try to fit in. Walking on from a lot of old things that you knew weren't really serving you, but you kept hanging on to. Walking on from just being human, from a very dated ancient biology or biological template, walking on from the mind being the kind of the supreme thing, the supreme being, the controlling force in your life. It's not. Walking on from fears, walking on from your own makyo. Walking on from really old belief systems that don't serve you anymore. Walking into the bright light of the I am. Let's take a good deep breath. It was really a year of letting go, I guess you'd call it. Dropping things that just didn't serve you anymore. We'll be back next month for the beginning of our new series. You You'll have your directive of fulfillment. We'll have some fun with that. But for now, dear Shambra, it's time for me to walk on. Time for me to bring this series to a close and start preparing for our next year together. It's always such an honor, such a privilege to serve you. Let's take a good deep breath together. And always remember that all is well in all of creation. And now I walk on. Thank you. We'll see you next month. Thank you.